Yo, everyone, and welcome to the second SDL Mechabellum tournament. As we go in here in the first game of the tournament already, and whilst we're waiting for Balimpur to Pure Tanner to start, we can go over the bracket here. But we have 32 players today. Really looking forward to see all of these players perform and see where we can get. We have Pika Pinguin versus Dimos. We have UWeb versus EnSako down there. Dimos and Pika already last time. Like, about half of the people played last tournament already. Rest is new faces, which is lovely to see. A lot of high level players. A lot of people with a lot of combat power and pretty high elos as well already. And yeah, I'm really excited. And they're not fighting for nothing here, as they have already a prize pool ahead of them of $97.66, but you guys can make that higher, as all you have to do is go to the Mechabellum page and click the claim code button, and then you add 25 cents to the prize pool immediately for free. 24 codes still remaining, and yeah, we will go in 19 seconds here into the first round. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Here we go. Tanner versus Balimpur. So yeah, here we go. Mechabellum, second SDL tournament is starting. Balimpur versus Pure Tanner is our first game in the first round, in the round of 32. Nearly $100 already on the line, and you can help it all out, guys. The Mechabellum is waiting for you. Clicking the claim code button, adding some prize pool there. And yeah, interesting choices here. We have Steel Bolts and Fangs together with Supply Specialist. I'm never a big fan of the Steel Ball Fang combo, because I like Steel Bolts, but I like them with crawlers, so that you still have something in front of them that is a bit like, or you could put something in front of them that is mass and tanks for them. So you usually don't want to have your Steel Bolts dying too quickly. On the other side, Tanner, Giant Specialist, starting with Arclights and Phoenixes, adding some crawlers here now as well. 4 Arclights here from the get-go. Crawlers most likely here, trying to prevent the Steel Bolts from joining. And then 2 really close proximity Phoenixes here in the rear, which is a bit of a wild choice, as these Phoenixes are really easy to hit with any kind of ability then. Oh, and they didn't hit the Steel Bolts. They didn't hit the Steel Bolts, and that is a massive problem. They were supposed to kill the Steel Bolts here, but they absolutely messed that up. And with that, with them focusing the Fangs, the Steel Bolts had more than enough time killing the Arclights. Arclights were firing onto the Steel Bolts instead of the Fangs, so absolutely terrible targeting there from the units of Tanner. And Tanner has to figure out now a way of how to improve that. Electronic magnetic pulls on both sides. Okay. Actually, not that terrible for Tanner here, that his Phoenixes will be slowed down. That should allow them to target Steel Bolts then. Yeah, more crawlers it is. Crawlers here, pretty solid against all of these targets so far. Obviously, in the long run, a Vulcan or so can change that. Vulcan got a slight nerf last patch, but it's still a really viable unit for sure. It got a slight reduction in hit points, but that didn't change super much in its power level. Yeah, Balimpur and Tanner both had a solid run last time. Tanner making it into the round of 8, and I believe so did Balimpur. Let's see if either of them can make it deeper this time. It for sure can't be both, as they face each other this time here in round 1. 1000 MMR versus 1300 MMR. Has both already played their tank games since the patch on Thursday. And yeah, here we go. Crawlers coming in. Nice slowdown on the Phoenixes. But as I said, like, that might actually not be a super bad thing here, though the crawlers are a problem. And the crawlers of Tanner not arriving in time to protect the Arclights. And that is really a massive issue. Like, the Arclights get left on their own device there a bit too long, and they are necessary to deal with the Fangs. They are necessary to deal with the crawlers. If you lose them like that to the marksman, to the one-shot of the marksman, then yeah, this is what happens in the end. Tanner has to figure out a way of how to deal with this. Has the giant specialist, maybe wants to go into something like a Vulcan or so early on. Ooh, two really interesting choices here for Tanner through out of this. Goes for the intelligent Arclight, which gives them quicker XP rate. The most forward of those buffs. On the other side, we see the intensive training. Let's see what it will be used on. Could get up to level 3 steel balls with intensive training here, if Balimpur wants to do that. That could be an interesting choice. Okay. Sledgehammers added to the lineup as well. More crawlers it is here on the side of Tanner. A lot of crawlers, but the sledgehammers will be nice against that. Immediately levels up the sledgehammers. Pretty aggressive sledgehammers here with mechanical rage, armor piercing, and electromagnetic shot. Only the field maintenance as a defensive upgrade. Meanwhile, steel bolts have the heavy targeted, allowing them to hit the big boys of the enemy. Marksman here, electromagnetic shot, and elite marksman and range enhancement. Usually the 3 you always see on a marksman. And then we have quick reload here on the side of Balimpur. On the other side, Arclights going around. And yeah, let's see. Let's go. Arclights moving forward. Crawlers moving around. Missile does hit. Good hits. Onto the steel bolts. Good kill over here. Steel bolt level 2. Tanking the Phoenix is quite nice this time around, but the Arclights having a way better time this time around. Still not quite good enough though to keep the Fangs at bay, and that will be a trouble here for the Phoenixes, as some of them got starting focusing Fangs, and that's never what you want to have happen with your Phoenixes, as Fangs are not a great target to hit. Smoke and photon emission. Speed coming around as well. Yes. We have Arclights of armor enhancement. They don't have... Wait. This is a wild mix of Arclights. They have armor enhancement. They don't have the elite marksman. So that is interesting. Crawlers coming around. Marksman could come around here. And could come up here as well. Arclight sitting around everywhere. Crawlers will try to go for the research center. That they will not arrive here. There will be too much stuff in front of this. Really interesting mass Arclight without marksman. Like, that is usually not what you see. Also, really early rapid resupply here. Smoke is an interesting choice as well. The Phoenix is level 2, will be helpful. And Tanner completely down the line. Doesn't even unlock anything. Like, he should unlock his giants each round. He should unlock a different giant each round here. Got a bit one-sided here with the units so far. Maybe a bit too locked down on just that. As there are for sure giants that could help here. Like, Overlord could be interesting in the right position. Fortress in a nice spot to help out the arc lights. Could be good as well. But we don't see that at all. Phoenix getting killed. Next Phoenix getting killed over here. Fury Tanner getting hit once more here. Not too heavily, but yeah, 3 units only at this stage, especially if you have Giant, if you can just unlock a different unit each turn, is too little. Balimpur here with the better setup so far in my eyes. Another level up for the Phoenixes. Wonder, Tanner really short of money, especially as the rapid resupply was used last turn, so don't think this round will go any better. Flames coming around the north can be helpful, but I'm not certain this will change anything. Yeah, flames coming up here in the north. Arclight number really, really high now. But usually also, like, yeah, armor not the upgrade you want to go first for. I'm not sure if he maybe changed that lately and was like autopiloting clicking this. Otherwise, I don't quite get it. I mean, it's also somewhat helpful, but against Sledgehammers not so much. No, actually. Actually, it's not that helpful here. Yeah, fire in the north. Will be annoying. Electronic shock. Might be somewhat annoying as well. Marksman now with extra range. Gonna be frustrating. And yeah, Tanner here really locked on to that strategy. Shockwave on the other side as well. More Phoenixes. I don't get why we don't see a Giant yet. Like Vulcans, Fortresses, Overlords, all could be somewhat helpful here. Don't think Melting Point is the unit to go for right now. But outside of that, the Flames actually did a pretty decent job up north. Didn't see an extra upgrade on the Arclights just yet. I would expect that to come around. Flames actually might carry this round. So that might be nice. The upgrade on the Marksman, the range upgrade, not too impactful just yet. And the Arclights this time surviving. Would like to see them with ranged enhancement or charged shot, but that's why I don't like the armor. Like, they should have gone for range enhancement from the get-go in my eyes as the first upgrade instead of the armor. Whilst attempts have been made here to kill the units. Yeah, Command Center does survive. Balimpur taking damage for the first time. And that in the round where Tanner was down income because of... Oh! Interesting choice. Yeah, round 6. The top supply specialist. Interesting choice. I dig the senior defense a bit more as well. We see a fortress now being unlocked by Tanner. I like that. Wants to increase the... Okay, places down more Phoenixes and Crawlers though. Just unlocked the fortress, but at least used the ability to unlock something this time around. On the other side, for Balimpur, yeah, the Marksman should maybe have gone for a different kind of upgrade here. Or maybe an upgrade on the Fangs or so. More impactful than the Marksman. Range really wasn't the issue so far for the Marksman. Like, they always got into range easily. And they outranged the Phoenixes for now as well. Both upgrades in the research center now done here for Balimpur. Tanner still needs the attack upgrade eventually. Would like to see that within the next round or so. As both sides now will clash with each other. Good snipes on the Arclights here. Okay, yeah, the range somewhat helpful with that, I guess. Allowing to hit Arclights beforehand. Arclights trying their best here. But dying a bit too quickly once more. And that will be a painful round for Pure Tanner. Will need a fortress, in my eyes. Maybe even go immediately for level 2 fortress. To have something that keeps units away from your Arc Knights. 1,600 points. Gets more income now by a good bit than Balimpur. Junior supply versus a free missile strike. Junior supply means now that Balimpur basically has the income nearly like the income advantage of the supply specialist nearly completely compensated for. Fortresses should be one step further forward. Otherwise this Arclight still will die firsthand. But yeah, triple fortress, quite interesting. Leveling up an Arclight here most likely in the end. Missile in the north. Can be nice. Okay, yeah, one of the Arclights goes up to level 3. Would like to see the fortress over here. And this one also one step further forward. Like in here. So that it keeps the focus away from the Arclights at the beginning. With its shield. Like up north, that does work. And that is great. That is fantastic news in my eyes. Should help out the Arclights a lot. And there's steel bolts. They're only level 2 though. And you have phoenixes and stuff. And you have the crawlers to keep them busy at the beginning as well. So it shouldn't be a massive issue most likely. The missile here is okay. I would have... Yeah, as... Tanner wanted to go into fortresses, the junior officer obviously didn't make much sense. Missile here will not get taken away by... And yeah, that's... These 3 Arclights still getting sniped here. Fortress is a slight bit too far in the rear. As we see steel bolts dying up north. Fortresses hitting everything. Going down in the fire. But yeah, steel bolts did survive a bit too long. The Arclights not enough damage output because they just got sniped still a bit too easily. And this is going to be it. Balimpur gonna win this game here in round 1 against Puritaner. First person to eliminate it in this tournament this time around. As Balimpur will move on. And Maris also streaming. There is a good couple of content creators out there. Yeah, the bot will have some time to do now to give you all of them. Maris versus Sazal. As we have Vulcans versus a really aggressive Mustang, Crawler, Steel Ball, slight Arclight combo. Classic defensive Mustangs here. Yeah, pretty helpful. And on the other side, Vulcans, and a lot of Stormcallers. Question is, do you deal with the steel bolts quickly enough? Oh, the burn, and there's not enough spacing to fit anything else into the setup here of Trenomaris, and that most likely gonna be an issue. As the turret does fall. More hits everywhere. Everything dies. Still. As there is not enough to kill the steel bolts. The steel bolts really, really strong. We are in round 6. Yeah, intensive training good. I'm not sure how amazing it is here. Yeah, some more hard hitters against the steel bolts would be nice. Phoenix is leveling up to level 3 here, for example, would be my way to go. More Vulcans are not necessary at all in my eyes. You need some anti-steel ball units. Vulcans ain't that. Yeah, they have Ignite now, but still not really doing it. Like, it's helpful and all. But I would have liked to see an investment into something else here as well. He didn't give me his contact, I believe. I asked everybody to give me the contact, and maybe I missed him. Maybe he didn't contact me. Don't think he contacted me. Yeah, Vulcan's going down. Stormcallers setting everything in place, but Steel Bolt's under attack. And the Steel Bolt's just too tanky here. Whilst the advanced firepower control system comes online. That one might help a bit. But the Steel Bolts, you need to have something that can really do high DPS against them. I still would argue the Phoenixes are the one to go for, or units to go for here. And them with the 200% extra damage, also the way to go. Because you kind of need something to one-shot it. But the Steel Bolt's now getting out of control, and where even level 2 or level 3 Phoenixes otherwise just don't deal enough damage anymore. And thanks to the Vulcans, the Steel Bolts with energy absorption have enough good targets to heal himself up upon. And then the Mustangs behind, they're still a bit, like, not a lot of them are surviving, but it's still enough of them. So, yeah, Sazal really not quite with the right answer to the Steel Bolts. Like, more and more answers to the Mustangs and the Crawlers, but they're already dealt with by the Stormcallers. They're already dealt with by the Vulcans. You don't need more answers against them. You just need something to snipe these guys here as hard as possible. And that would have been Phoenixes, but yeah, north we have the turret falling, and then everything here just dies. And with that, Sazal will fall as well. And yeah, that is next round done here. Next game. This tournament played, and that might have been the last one. So no, we have still Shade versus... We have Shade versus Witcher there. Okay. Good game as well. Arclights move around here. As we have a lot of stuffs starting to burn here. Around in flames, we have some overlords, we have some arclights. A lot of wasps over here, trying to figure out what exactly is happening in this game. As overlord moving forward. Mothership getting respawned, spawning more and more units in. As the Phoenix is here, coming around, getting shredded. Well, Mustang trying its best to kill these Phoenixes, and the Mothership actually doing it here. Shade having 3 of them still surviving. And the ground units, especially the Overlords, the Arclights, absolutely getting massacred by the Overlord artillery. And that is obviously a massive problem here for Witcher. As Witcher has elite specialist here, using a lot of units there as well. On the other side, supply specialist coming around. Overlords doing a good job. So far, the Mothership preventing the Phoenixes from sniping them too quickly. And outside of that, there's not that much AA here. Okay. Stormcaller coming around. Trying to hit all the ground units as Witcher is saying GG. Let's see what exactly happens. Tanks moving around. Stormcallers moving up. Artillery hitting the north, but good shield there, preventing the Stormcrawlers from being hit. And those are the most valuable targets there for the artillery. As both sides setting up one last level up here with the last couple of bugs. Maybe one more missile here, or a level up to a crawler or something. No, one missile to stop these crawlers from getting anywhere. And yeah, these Stormcrawlers here will set the ground ablaze, which is nice and all. But the Overlords are the problem. Wasps here, somewhat tanky. Phoenixes trying to deal their work from the rear, but they're already taking some decent damage. And a lot of Wasps coming in here. They have shields upgrades as well. There's not enough anti-air against them. And everything here gets shredded on the ground. Next wave of Wasps spawning in. And this is a lot of Overlords moving forward. Overlords shredding a lot of ground units here. Phoenixes going down. Stormcaller is going down. Arclight in the south under heavy attack as well. And the Overlord will finish off Witcher here. Really, GGVP. 2 Shade. Another game here in round 1 done. And we're gonna go into a short break. And then we have a look on the bracket in 5 minutes, guys.
Sounds good.
Okay, guys. So here we go. This is the bracket at the moment. As we have all but one game finished. We're gonna wait for Jeremiah and CJOP. I can't quite find the match just yet. I have looked up and down, but maybe if they didn't turn on spectate, I'm not certain. Because it's, yeah, that for sure would be improvement to the game in the future if they could give us some better setup for lobbies and so on, and the lobby filter. Yeah, at the moment, this wall of things going on, not super amazing. But in the meantime, I got joined by the lovely Yogdog, who is going to join me here. Oh, there we go. Captain John, I found it. I found it, everybody. It was just blind AF, and we have a GG. Lol. Well, do 3,500 damage here.
It would be impressive if he was able to pull out that amount of damage.
Yeah. That means we're gonna go into... That's a lot of stuff going on here. Yeah, the hacker really underappreciated unit by a lot of newer players. In situations like this, especially against giants, it can be so devastating. You also deal the damage of the stolen unit then back to the opponent, and that often can make them hit so hard, as we see here, Jeremiah being defeated. And yeah, guys, we're gonna go into the back stream real quick so I can set up the next round for all the players. And then, yeah, but we can talk a bit in the meantime. So, yeah, Yogdog, when did you... How much did you play? And did you play Mechabellum over the last couple of days? Did you get your MMR fixed up yet?
No, definitely not. I have been playing a ton of strategic command lately, and I'm slightly addicted to that at the minute. But where I went to Belgium to visit Reese's, who's someone who's occasionally in your chat, a couple of weeks ago, and he's a lot better at this game than I am. But we tend to do duos together, I tend to focus on getting big mechs. So I love my Vulcans especially, but fortresses and overlords are pretty fun. And I think when I get back to playing the game over the next week or so, I'm probably just going to stick with that doctrine. I tend to go bigger is better. But yeah, it's been really fun to see how Mechabellum's developed since it launched. I feel that it's got a really nice dedicated community around it, and when I first saw it announced, I was a little bit doubtful, but it's really grown on me. I really like the game overall.
Yeah, it's for sure a good game. And yeah, we have the next round coming up, everybody. Next round is looking as follows. So we have Mathematico Balimpur, two veterans of last tournament, fighting it once more. Shade Pro, Fresh Pro, who was not quite able to join us last time, but Shade, yeah, already here quite nice. Fresh Pro with a bit of an upset in my eyes. Emperor Monkey for sure, pretty strong player, getting eliminated there. That's round of best of ones for you though, especially in a volatile game like this. If you make any slip ups, you are eliminated in the first 3 rounds here. Best of 3 for the semis and grand finals. But as it's a 1-day tournament, we have to keep it going. So best of 1 here for everybody. Makes it a bit more interesting as well because, yeah, we can have some deep runs. Last time around, we had a really deep run by a newer player as well into the semifinals. So let's see who will make it there this time. Lustwaffe versus Esoteric, Captain John versus Sunnyside, Vomit Blood versus Trinomaris, Dimos versus Konkel, EnSako versus Settlebell. Like, yeah, a lot of interesting combos here. With Pika Penguin, our finalist from last tournament, already eliminated here by Dimos this time around. Most likely gonna continue his stream on his channel though, as you can find all the other guys in the CC list. Everybody but EnSako. Not sure if EnSako forgot to contact me or I just didn't see it, but yeah, EnSako also streaming over there. So check him out as well, as we're setting up for the next round. And yeah, let's see. Luftwaffe versus... No, that's not it. Settlebell versus EnSako. Those two stream their game, but we can't check that one out for now. See if we find anything better. Oh, everybody joining in here. Yeah, currently no other game going on just yet. They're all still having to figure out how to find each other. Hopefully something they can do relatively soon. Yeah. Buddy in here. Inksy. You in here as well? Or are you just watching through me?
I'm just going to be joining now.
Okay. Oh yeah, there I see you. 2,300 MMR, obviously really high rank here. EnSako. That's quite the MMR. Settlebell on the other side, let's go. Let's go. 1 minute 12 here, coming around. Yeah, Pika immediately eliminated first round. Must be a bit frustrated, most likely. For sure not the plan. But yeah, makes it open. We're for sure gonna have new finalists this time. Yeah, Pika eliminated. And this time around, like... Oh god, I'm slipping on the name of our last time champion. Too many new tags to learn. Next to Wano, next to Mechabellum, so many names flying around. Tangdil, yeah, not joining this time as he's pretty busy RL. So we will have a new finalists this time. Pretty exciting. And you guys can help out making this even more exciting. Check out the Mechabellum page. We still have 22 codes to be reclaimed. And you can still add completely free money to the prize pool here via that claim code button. Yeah, that it's 25 cents here. We're closing in on the $100. If we go to $200, the third and fourth place in the tournament will also get some prize money. But here we go. Second round of the round of 16 has begun in the second Mechabellum tournament. And yeah, nearly $100 on the prize line now, thanks to Metrorino. Thanks to all of you guys' support. And EnSako with really, really high elo. Might be the highest elo in the tournament. I'm not quite certain. With the whole elo to combat power setting, it has changed a bit. And I haven't asked everybody for their elo in the sign up. I just asked combat power there. But for sure pretty high. Versus Settlebell, who doesn't quite have an elo set up just yet, as the patch just came out Thursday. So not everybody has played 10 games since then. And ranked games, that is. And ooh, we have Steel Balls and Fangs versus Steel Balls and Crawlers. Interesting setup. EnSako here with Giant Specialist versus Cost Control. Yeah, Crawlers added on top of this whole thing. Arclights here. Pretty good investment in my eyes. Hey, Balimpur. Thanks for the follow. We have some Fangs moving around in the south as well. And yeah, we're gonna stand up for you. Huh? Use the standing desk. Thank you, sir, there. Nice. Back here. Standing desk, really, really important. Because my posture while sitting down is pretty atrocious. Ooh, yeah, Steel Balls here versus Steel Ball Pies. Crawlers keep them busy nicely. Arclights did clean the Crawlers up the other side up quite fast. And will stay behind the Crawlers, so they should be having a nice time with the Fangs afterwards as well. And that means the first round will go to Settlebell here. That obviously not super important. Damage here will be minimal. Like, most likely 200 damage only. Ah, no! Oh, we have... Okay, no, it actually will be 400 damage. Still not massive. I missed these Steel Balls out completely. And, yeah, interesting setup here so far, isn't it, Yogdog?
I think it's pretty interesting, that particular one, because EnSako stacked pretty much all his units on one flank and still lost on that flank just because Settlebell's placement of his units was pretty much perfect. The Arclights were protected, and the EnSako's Steel Balls got tied up by the Crawlers, so that allowed Settlebell's own Steel Balls just overwhelm them despite being outnumbered. It was really good unit placement, and it was pretty good to see.
I'm really interested to see the range upgrade here on the Fangs so early on. Seems like EnSako wants to play Fangs really, really hard. Placed one more in the south. But range upgrades this early is usually not something you see in high level. Like, they actually play often really, really low amount of upgrades nowadays. And having it this early on the Fangs, interesting choice. And especially as we see now Stormcallers added on the other side, which together with the Arclights are pretty good anti-Fang units on the paper. So let's see if this investment here from EnSako pays off, or if the Stormcallers and the Arclights will ruin his day here. Great hit. Oh, the Fangs on the flank. Keeping the Steel Balls busy though. Great choice there. I completely missed that, but yeah, those are a fantastic choice. Really, really strong hit by the Stormcallers though, destroying all but 2 Steel Balls there, with basically 1 salvo. The other 2 Steel Balls getting through to the turret, but at the same time the turret in the south, or no, the one in the north actually falling, as the Crawlers got through there. And the Steel Balls not quite able to kill the research center of Settlebell, so Settlebell will win another round. We'll have to figure out how to keep these Fangs in the north though from getting him killed too quickly. Yes, that will be an issue here in the long run.
That was an extremely chaotic round.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
I
Crawler's flanks and Fang flanks in the north on both sides. So that is something to deal with. And then that one Stormcaller salvo hitting all the steel balls, like 6 steel balls going down with one Stormcaller salvo there. That was absolutely terrible news for EnSako, obviously. Has to maybe try to find a way to let them not bunch up quite as much, as otherwise that problem might still stay. As we see more steel balls on the other side as well. Level steel balls nonetheless. So that is going to be interesting. An Arclight to try to help out with all the fangs. Let's see if Settlebell can keep up the pressure or if EnSako has found a solution here. Ooh, quick upgrade on the steel balls as well. Energy absorption coming up really, really early here. Like, really, this is not a usual game plan. 2 upgrades this early on, 2 upgrades in round 3 already in top level play. Not the usual way these things go.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that they're going for so many early upgrades. Like you said, it's not exactly what you call common, and he is going to be paying for it in terms of unit coverage. But it's going to be interesting to see how this round plays out. It's those Stormcallers are continuing to equip themselves pretty well.
Yeah, those Stormcallers getting the hits they need, and the turrets both fall once more, and that will be it again. Stormcaller still alive to hit the fangs as well, and this is a problem. This steel bolt's just not quite getting the job done that they need to do here for EnSako, for the heavy investment with that forward deployment, making himself so vulnerable. And then if the turrets fall quick enough, his whole front line just absolutely collapses. At least can do the upgrade now. Invests into cheaper steel balls as well. So more of those most likely to be seen, and heavier Fang upgrades coming in as well. And yeah, that is going to be interesting. 3rd upgrade already. So it is the Fang strategy here. And all out into it from the get-go. Steel balls added in the north as something tanky as well. As we see a smoke screen from Settlebell? But isn't that
that seems
helpful
really weird.
for EnSako? I'm not sure, but it feels like that's not great for the Stormcallers.
Yeah, I feel that's a really weird choice there. I think that's going to backfire.
I mean, yeah, the shields on the fangs, but there's only one fang group. What? Those are some really weird choices right now from Settlebell. Like 400 points into an upgrade where you only have one kind of, instead of, for example, upgrading the crawlers or your own steel bolts. Like, both sides with some interesting choices here. And yeah, I feel like this smokescreen will backfire more than it will help. I mean, yeah, the upgrade on the fangs, the portable shield one, is a fantastic one. I just don't know if it's really that helpful if you only have one of them. Well, it's the steel bolts on level 2 with absorption. This time survive a bit better. Stormcallers didn't get upgraded yet, so they don't quite deal the damage that they once did here. And the crawlers from the north trying to come around don't quite do it either. And this will be a victory for EnSako, which in my eyes is mostly down to 400 points completely spent into a wrong spot, into the wrong spot here by Settlebell on that upgrade. It's at least for this round. Obviously, more fangs can come, and more fangs might help. But for now, it's a really, really weird choice.
Yeah, those steel balls were just able to weather the storm. They've not quite reached critical mass up there, and it's still a fairly close round, all things considered. Like, it's not a huge win by any stretch of the imagination, but there just wasn't enough damage output to deal with the healing abilities of those steel balls. So I wonder how he's going to try and adapt to that next turn.
So yeah, Chad, what do you think? Who is in ahead here right now? Isn't Sako the one who has the control again now? with the heavily upgraded Fangs. Fangs obviously can be really, really dangerous. And having a good steel ball line that can tank in front of them obviously is a great choice. Nuke coming in here from Settlebell. Okay.
Now that's a choice.
That's a
Oh.
really expensive choice, and yeah, I feel like it needs to be done this turn, but then you're obviously weaker for the rest of the rounds, as the enemy has 350 points invested into frontline units that you won't have for the next couple of rounds. Nuke will come around eventually in round 10. No nuke this time. I feel like that's a mistake, as round 10 is possible, so you would have the chance of it getting on cooldown. Round 11 and further are super unlikely, especially in this match. Oh, it's not quite done yet. It was EnSako that was ready, not the other way around. Okay. These missiles also should have been positioned better in my eyes. Huh? Okay, a lot of missiles. No. No nuke. Hey, Dragonfly.
Starting to feel like EnSako is going to be taking control of this. Settlebell was winning in the south in pretty much every round, but those reinforcements are going to allow him to push forward a bit more there. So it's not a certainty he's going to win there anymore. So I think this is going to be a bit more of a crushing win.
Yeah, Crawler's taking forever to take down the turret. They do it eventually here for Settlebell, and that might swing things a bit for a second or so, as the steel bolts will go down in the north completely. All the Fangs gonna die, but obviously heavy investments into shields, heavy investments into the nuke, which is still around, but also heavy investments into missiles last turn. So all these one-turn investments, and he's not dealing enough damage for that here. Like, if he would win somewhat hard this round, deal 1000 damage, and then nuke next round, and maybe do the finishing blow, I still would say that would be obviously a solid path to victory here for Settlebell. But Settlebell will not even win this round here, most likely, as the Stormcaller is just not dealing enough damage to this steel ball. And now the steel ball finally goes down, but the Fangs... Oh, a single Fang did survive, and it still kills another Stormcaller. So... great Stormcaller salvo on all the other Fangs, but one did survive. So it is only 50 damage here in the end for Settlebell, which is nothing at all.
That ended up being a lot crazier. I'll hold my hands up. I predicted that one completely wrong.
Ooh.
That was an absolutely nuts round.
Both sides deciding against the long-term opportunities there, like the 30% extra hit point for all units, or the 150 extra income each round, and both sides going for something a bit more specialized, a bit more short-term. We have the amplifier on some level 3 steel bolts, and we have the tank production on flanking overlords in the south. Okay.
Now that's a choice.
That is a really bold choice as well. We have flanking steel bolts in the south here as well. Everybody is just going completely all over the place here, and this is going to be hard to capture in one screen. Still no nuke dropped here from Settlebell. I feel like dropping the nuke here to take out the steel bolts would be the way to go. But... huh. Yeah, the overlords... I'm not certain. Well, these tanks are only level 2. If they would be level 3, I feel like the overlords would most likely be dead together with the crawlers before they warp in. But with the tank production as well, they might be able to make it. Arc lights getting killed off quite quickly. One of the turrets already under attack here in the south for Settlebell, going down already. And Settlebell's flank in the north not strong enough anymore to win through. And now, thanks to the deactivation, everything is going down here for Settlebell at the moment. Outside of the two overlords in the south. One of them still spawning in a couple of tanks. They might destroy the research center just at the right moment to hit the rest of the units here. As Tanks with extra range moving around. Sledgehammers still getting spawned in. But Overlord now going down. And the Steel Bolts will be able to deal with it. So Settlebell in trouble. Needs a fantastic nuke to bring this around. And then enough damage to one-shot EnSako here in my eyes. And EnSako also obviously knowing that the nuke could come any moment here. Speed Specialist on the side of EnSako makes perfect sense. Junior Manufacturing Specialist could give some longevity here, but no, to Settlebell. But and the economic advantage here for round 9 onward, but not sure if you really want to go there. Okay, Junior Manufacturing actually comes along. A lot of tanks. The crawlers never being upgraded here. Nuke way too aggressively placed.
Wow, that is very aggressive.
That should be... Oh no, actually, with the crawlers trying to bring them to the north, maybe not. That steel bolts will move weirdly there. Okay, I see why with the steel bolts coming in from the north. With the crawlers coming in from the north, but they will get hit by the missiles, so it will not work out. Or most likely not work out. I'm not certain. More fangs could be helpful for the south.
I think one of the key things here is that EnSako just has a massive experience advantage on his units. That's so much extra DPS and HP that Settlebell has to deal with, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to, even with a nuke.
Yeah, the crawlers for sure just immediately will die here every time. And there's also few researchers on Settlebell's units yet. Only research he got is the energy absorption on his steel bolts, but the steel bolts of EnSako higher than the ones of Settlebell. Nuke hitting, but only hitting the real line units. Still dealing an okay amount of damage, but it's not enough. With the turrets falling. Stormcallers going down as well. Turret going down here too. And Settlebell taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, that nuke did a decent chunk of damage, but it was nowhere near enough. EnSako's so spread out, but he's not particularly vulnerable to a nuke that would tip the scales, and Settlebell's just not winning in any area of the battlefield at the moment. That huge experience disparity is becoming a massive problem. And his tower in the south has been hit a couple of times now because he's losing so badly in that area.
Yeah, but he warped around his overlords now, invested into jump drive there. But yeah, steel bolts with range now. Interesting choice, but both sides at the range at the same time, so it's not an advantage there for Settlebell either. And yeah, a lot of spells have been played by Settlebell over the time, and time has just run out. Like, Settlebell needed to end this at least last round, maybe even 2 rounds ago already. And that didn't happen, and he's just economically so far behind. Most likely now that this is, in all likelihood, not going to end well here now. The Overlord with the shield upgrade helping. We have another pretty strong ability here with the Thunderstorm in the north that helped out a bit. And actually might allow even this round to go somewhat well. Oh no, the turret does fall in the south just before the steel ball goes down. And the steel ball will heal itself up on the other steel bolts of Settlebell. Finally goes down. And so will the Overlord then most likely. But at the same time, units in the north winning here for EnSako again, getting the turret. And the Overlord still alive for now. Finally does go down. But there's level 3 steel bolts here. The shield over the research center, pretty helpful here as well. Otherwise the Stormcallers might have been able to defeat that. And then the situation might have gone out of control again. But this way the Overlord here most likely gonna fall in a second. And then we take some more damage here to Settlebell. And EnSako's still doing absolutely fine here. And most likely the last round, unless Settlebell throws a massive curveball, is gonna be the end. As Settlebell looks really, really strong now. And in full control of this match.
Considering the prior rounds, that last round actually got a lot closer than I thought it would be. But yeah, I don't know what Settlebell could do here to actually bring us back in his favor. I think this is pretty much GG. I think EnSako's got this.
Yes, most likely. The level up on the Overlord. On both sides. But yeah, the Overlord with the photon emission upgrade here, pretty nice as well. Got nerfed a lot over the last couple of patches. Photon emission was so strong when it first was around. The duration now heavily reduced, but still quite helpful. And Overlords are nice and all here for Settlebell, but they gave the 100% extra damage not to the level 2-1 themselves, but to the level 1-1 in the north. They find a interesting choice as well, especially as you can move them around. Yeah, like jump type is there. He could have, if he wanted. Yeah, that was a mistake as well. Like this should have been on the level 2 Overlord, and then it could have maybe dealt with the steel bolts there really fast this way around. Guess it might still be possible, but will take a good bit longer. Yeah, it's still possible here, as both sides have level 3 steel bolts. Hurt in the south falls way too quickly though, and that's a massive problem. Yeah, the steel bolts just went completely out of control here for EnSako. And Settlebell is going to be down here in this game. Going to be eliminated for this tournament. Hopefully, we will see him back in the next one. Really strong first couple of rounds, but then a couple of odd choices here, and EnSako, not someone to let that slip. And punishing here with a classic steel ball. Only 8 players remaining. A lot of good players in here for sure, though. I like all good players by now. As we have Mathematico versus Shade. That's the game we're gonna go into as the cast. Steel Sane versus Esoteric, Captain John slash CJOP versus Turnomaris, and Dimos versus EnSako. Our 2 remaining casters down here, streamers down here. And yeah, Steel Sane, Esoteric up here. Best of 3 from semifinals onward. This is the last best of 1 round. Let's see what it will bring. As we gonna wait and see where the lobby is going to go up. Gonna join Shade and Mathematico there. Yeah, lobbies should come up here soon. A lot of players online, so a lot of lobbies going on at any given moment here. But yeah, everything is popping up. It's not that many lobbies, so it'd still be manageable. People should still be able to do this. But yeah, naming lobbies, setting up passwords and so on would be a lovely addition. Guys over at... Oh, I forgot the studio behind this. Well, hopefully the Paradox people. The name... What is the name of the studio again? Do you remember, the Dog?
Not off the top of my head.
Hey, we have a Mathematico fanboy in the chat. Or fangirl. Nice. Non-Genti. Hello there. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Absolutely enjoying the tournament once more here so far. And really looking forward, especially then to the semifinals and finals when we go into best of 3 format. Gonna be really exciting. First couple of games already set up here. With our 2 other casters, you can find them as well on Twitch, Trenomaris and EnSako. So yeah, we are going to wait for the next game. Fresh Pro eliminated already. Tournament forehand. The lobby is supposedly up. Do you see it?
I'm going through the list now. I can't find it so far.
It's weird. Wait, did I have Mathematico as a friend? No. Have to activate chat again. There we go. It doesn't pop up immediately, does it? No. Okay. Accept. Okay, I'm in. I invite you. Invite. Ah no, only host can invite. Can you say something in chat, Yogdog, so that they can find you as well? Oh, are you in the right division? What division are you in, Yogdog?
1 sec.
We're in 301.
I'm in 501.
Classic mistake. Not being in the German one. And now I get all the friend requests. Okay, now I also see the lobby, but yeah, I mean, that's because I'm in it, I guess.
I've never actually switched divisions before, so you can only switch once per day.
Can you type something in chat then, once you're on 301? But they can add you in the all chat. Classic. In the in-game chat, yeah. Exactly. Will you share the matches replay in the history after it finished? If there are you can watch all the replays. Or what do you exactly mean? If I gonna cast all the games, I'm most likely not gonna do that. That's too much time for me, next to a full-time job and so on. Let's go. Ooh. Here we go. 2000 versus 2100. Two pretty strong players here, Mathematico and Shade. Round of 8 here coming around. Yeah, Mathematico and Shade, Steel Sane, Esoteric, Captain John, Trenomaris, Dimos, all lovely people here still remaining, and they all fighting for this amount of prize pool here at the moment. And you guys can make that bigger. You guys only have to go to my Torino page and click this claim code button and add 25 cents immediately for future prize pool. You can also help out with a bigger amount of money, as a couple of lovely people already did here. David, Roberts, Denise, Elizabeth, and Eve already helping out here, getting us next to $100. But you don't have to do that. You can just click the claim code button and you already contribute directly 25 bucks. And yeah, if you haven't followed the channel yet, maybe do that as well in the meantime, as we are waiting here for the round of 8 to start. And yeah, Game River, right, is the dev. Game River. Yeah. Great game here for sure. Mechabellum, absolutely. Next to Rule the Waves 3, my game of the year so far. The two absolutely amazing games. Obviously completely different. I'm pretty sure most of you haven't heard of Rule the Waves yet. So if you follow the channel and the YouTube channel, you might see it. Yeah, but let's have some fun here with the next round. Round of 8 coming up here. First game of the round of 8. And yeah, if you want to see some more action of Trenomaris or EnSako, you can follow them on Twitch as well. And watch it over there. Captain John coming around. Steel Sane versus Esoteric on the way as well. Here we go. Mathematico and Shade. Bringing it up. And let's see what the choices are. My choice here would be Heavy Armor in the north. Mathematico goes for Giant Specialist, Steel Ball Fang. Solid combo as well. Down here, Supply Specialist sounds really solid. Speed Specialist is really cool as well with this combo, but it is the Supply Specialist. Like a lot of standard combos there for Shade. So, yeah. And I believe
I mean,
it's this
I
way
do
around.
appreciate anyone who goes for giant specialists, so I definitely know who I'm rooting for here.
Yeah, Mathematico moving around. Well, I guess the game of the year outside in the outside world there, which is also fantastic. I enjoyed a lot. It's still not quite getting me that way though, is Battle Bits. But outside of that, Mechabellum, like it really shows that small studios can do absolutely amazing games and really rival the big guys. Mechabellum, Battle Bits, Rule the Waves, all the stuff that the guys at Hooded Horse Studios make. Like outside of story-based games, they absolutely, game mechanic wise, even graphic wise, can rival the big boys. Like, yeah, I guess the auto battlers from Riot, like here, Teamfight Tactics look slightly better, but don't look that much better. And that is lovely to see that in 2023, the small studios absolutely can do it still, and give us some amazing games here, and bring a bit of innovation. Well, yeah, Shade and Mathematico here, about to get it started. Mustang, Crawler, Marksman, pretty classic combo here. From Shade on the right side, Mathematico with Crawler, Steel Ball, Fang. A lot of small stuff, so yeah, the Mustangs will be helpful.
It's interesting that both sides are going for a pretty balanced layout, whereas I've seen a lot of focusing specifically on one flank in higher level play from a lot of the games I've seen recently. So that seems a bit different from what I've seen recently.
It seems a really standard setup here. Yeah, both sides just wanting to go for classic openers here and evolve it from there. And allows little room for strong flanks here, as both sides already quite well set up against flanks, and their own lines also not really connecting quickly enough with the enemy to help out a flanking force. And we have steel bolts breaking the turret in the south, getting the debuff onto the forces of Shade here. Shade most likely gonna get the next turret first, but I don't believe the Mustangs and the Marksman can deal enough damage to deal with this completely here, even with the turret down. Yes, since the reduction in time, turret is not quite as impactful anymore. Mice, still should have gone for... they should have gone for a reduced effect instead of a reduced time, because now it often goes down before the units connect with each other again, which is not what it's supposed to do in my eyes, but I like that it got nerfed. It was a bit too impactful for sure. As both sides here now. Gonna go for some more stuff. Haste on the side of Shade. Mathematico here obviously could go for the Fang upgrade as well. I guess that's the choice that is up here. Mass production Wasp can be interesting as well. Having Wasp swarms for 100 points flying around can absolutely make it wild. Like, their unit is not supposed to cost 100, and that is what Mathematico goes for. Oh boy! Oh boy!
That's a choice.
I'm really hyped for it. Let's see. Will they go to the flank? Will they go into the rear? Wait, where's that? Where did he put the Wasp? What? Where's the Wasp gone? Where's the Wasp gone to? Am I blind?
No, I can't see the Wasp either. Maybe he's so good at hiding them they're
Did he
invisible.
immediately sell them again? What? He got field recovery. He must have immediately sold the Wasp again. Maybe he doesn't want to show it. But I mean, the enemy sees the upgrade. Okay. Yeah, he immediately... Okay, was it all just a mistake here? Or I got hyped there for a minute, Mathematico. But I guess against enemy Mustangs, you don't want to play Wasp. Which I understand, but why do you get us hyped and then have to crush our hopes like that in Mathematico? Kinda cruel, not gonna lie. Kinda cruel here. As the Marksman will go down to the steel balls. Yeah. Semifinals and finals will be best of 3. And I'm really looking forward to it. Like, we had some really exciting matches last time. expect them to be good this time around. As marksmen get hits on the steel bolts. Mustangs here. Marksman leveling up as well. Ah! What? Oh! Wait, if you resell them? Oh, I didn't know that is a...
I didn't know that either. That's pretty nice.
Using the exploits. I mean, there's nothing in the rules saying, like, if it's in the game, I guess you can use it. Yeah. And it's not super OP, I guess, but it's still interesting. I thought you... Okay. Pretty sure that's not what the creators intended to do.
Well, the specific term is destroy a designated squad and receive a full refund of supplies invested into that squad. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not what the creators intended, but it's a neat little exploit I will keep in mind for my upcoming games as well. Yeah. So Mathematico here getting the economic advantage of 100 points per turn, as it is limited to one use per turn. They can't do it endlessly. It's like it's not an endless money cheat, so I would say it's within the scope of things, but it's still quite interesting. And something new I learned today.
I mean, there is the opportunity cost that you're losing out on an ability or an upgrade to some units.
Yeah.
Or
it costs, you have to, like in the first round, it doesn't give you anything because you have to unlock it for 100.
But over the course of a game, you like, let's say you get to round 10, you're probably going to be getting what 800 or so additional supply compared to your opponent.
Yeah, it's 100% something that will be changed in the future. Like, I don't expect this to stay in the game forever. Steel bolts here getting sniped. Research center will survive. Mathematico still has the stormcrawlers in the rear though, but the crawlers keep them busy, and that might allow the marksmen and the mustangs here to go to town. Yes, they do. Crawler is also connecting, and it's only slight damage here against Mathematico. Both, all 3 rounds so far with really low damage, but Shade finishing around here in the end. Ooh, extended range for marksman, always an interesting choice if you have marksman here, because 20% extra damage can come around to hurt you, but 30 extra range is a lot. Like, they are at 170 range now already, and they start to outrange Stormcallers with some upgrades then later on as well. For now, with the range upgrade, Stormcallers still, like, yeah, they have a lot of range as well, and they come reduced price here, subsidized Stormcallers.
Ooh, double fortress.
Oh, right, exactly. Yeah. Thought so. Can't deploy endless units. Yeah, it might be balanced. I still think it most likely is gonna be removed eventually. Yeah, the moving crawlers here to keep the stormcallers busy. And there is a missile, but it's not exactly where the crawlers are. And might get triggered by something else entirely even. The fortresses, interesting choices though, especially as the marksmen just got reduced in their damage output. So they won't be sniping these fortresses down as quickly as usually. Now it's both sides stormcallers here, firing quite a lot. Yeah, missile goes out. Crawlers keep on crawling. And the fortress is tanking for forever, but The Stormcaller salvos still might hit some other units as well. Stormcallers in the north going down. Marksman finally getting the kill, but a lot of steel bolts still around here. Really important kill on the turret though, allowing the Stormcallers some amazing salvos here now. Hitting all the Stormcallers whilst they are vulnerable as well. So, all the steel bolts. So all the steel bolts gone down by now. And with the Mustangs still being quick and moving here, plus both sides having max range on the Stormcallers of Mathematico here under attack, and this time there will be some solid amount of damage here for Shade.
Yeah, the Stormcallers are gonna definitely be the MVP for the amount of damage they did, but taking that tower down was the really important thing there. It's what allowed all of that damage in the middle to take place.
Really unfortunate here for Mathematico that immediately the round after he buys the 2 fortresses, Giant Hunter comes up here, and that allows Shade, you know, potentially 100 extra points per round, and this is a critical amount of extra income here for Shade. As we're gonna see the Stormcallers trying to do some damage. Crawler spawn coming up here in the middle of the enemy crawlers. Shields on the fortresses, pretty important. And yeah, fortresses gonna keep on moving. Let's see if we will see the Wasp trick once more. Still 2 squads can be bought here. Would expect so. And from the next round onwards, we will have best of 3 games. First round of 8 is only best of 1. Semifinals and finals will be best of 3. Mustang coming around here. Wasps being sold again. Yeah, crawlers going to be spawned in here in a second. Some more Stormcallers added to the whole thing. Mobile beacon being bought, but not being used. There's some Mustangs coming up. Crawlers spawn here, keeping the other Stormcallers on the right side busy as well. For a bit at least. Now all the crawlers on one spot. The Stormcaller salvo in the north, quite impactful. Fortresses for now still alive. This one will go down. That's 50 extra bucks here for Shade. Second one might survive the round though, if the steel bolts can keep on going. But the marksmen and the Stormcallers, no, they just deal a bit too much damage here. Stormcallers from the rear of Mathematico doing a decentish job, but it might not quite be enough. Good hit here, good hit over here as well. The level 2 ones in the center though, quite frustrating. And the marksman here now with 210 range, hitting quite nicely as well. Shade in a good spot here now with the Giant Hunter upgrade. Really frustrating for Mathematico. I don't believe you can sell the fortresses anymore. You might want to consider that even against Giant Hunter. Extra hit points on the fortresses though. That's quite nice. That's on the other side for Shade. No choice quite yet. Iron Blast obviously could be interesting. And improved firepower could be quite nice as well. Iron Blast coming around. Oh, and it will hit the fortress. Will hit the Stormcallers as well.
That's gonna hurt a little bit.
That's gonna hurt quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, those fortresses can tank a fair bit of damage, but with the sustained punishment they're going to be going up against with that amount of Stormcallers, especially some upgraded ones, it's unless they start leveling up, which they're struggling to do because they're not getting much experience, they're basically just... It's a heavy investment and it hasn't paid off too much so far.
Yeah,
and I don't know whether we can turn it around now either.
The flame upgrade on the Stormcallers is going to be interesting, as it is insanely good against anything on the other side. because everything here is low hit point. So setting the ground on fire will be strong, but the Iron Blast might still turn this round around for... Oh no, so unfortunate. 3 crawlers surviving, keeping the Stormcrawlers busy, hitting other targets. Stormcrawlers in the north also dying a bit too quickly there and having nothing to protect them. And yeah, that Iron Blast was completely overwhelming. And this will be an insane amount of damage here against Mathematico. It is not quite it, I believe, but it is pretty close to it now. The Iron Blast coming in insanely clutch here for Shade, and Shade now with once more 100 extra income here due to the Giant Hunter. So income at disadvantage for Mathematico is starting to grow, even with the resell feature. Yes. Amplifying core coming around on both sides here potentially. Tank production line could be interesting as well. Mathematico going for amplifying core though. Tank production line on the fortresses. Yeah, now getting the amplifying core, but the tank production line could have been an interesting choice there too. 660 hit points though. Mathematico needs to turn it around here now.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to be able to. He actually has less supply available than Shade does by a good margin, so it's going to be a tough one.
Stormcrawlers in the south. A lot of guys leveled up. Overlords coming around everywhere as well. And yeah, interesting movements, you know. Ooh, Overlords. There is anti-air. There are Mustangs, there are Fangs. But Overlords still can be really, really scary here, as obviously the Fangs and the Mustangs die quite early here. They're kind of the frontline units even. Interesting choice with the armor enhancement on the fortresses. That obviously is amazing against the Mustangs. Not terrible against the Stormcrawlers, but as they're only level 1, it's not insanely helpful. And the shield's super important here to keep the flames away from the unit of Shade. And yeah, Wasps coming in. There's nothing to hit the Overlords anymore. Oh no, there's just nothing to hit the Overlords anymore. And that is a massive problem because they alone already deal the damage. Great switch here for Shade. Yes, everything on the ground might die here this time around. So even that is questionable. But the Sky units are just too strong. There's 2 Fangs in the south, but it's level 1 Fangs. They won't even be able to deal with the Mothership's ability here. And yeah, this is going to be it. Fangs going down here. Stormcrawlers trying their best. But it was a fantastic Overlord switch here by Shade, leading to a nice victory here in this round. And with this round also finishing off the game. So GGVP here. Shade defeating Mathematico in the round of 8.
Shade had a really nice combination of Stormcrawlers, Marksmen, and Mustangs, which were just dealing with pretty much any threat for those the last few rounds. And it's really hard once they've got experience built up to actually break back against them, especially when those fortresses, such a heavy investment into them, and it just didn't feel like it paid off during the course of the game.
Yeah, the Giant Hunter also just came in really, really brutally there. And maybe Mathematical lacking a bit of units to keep the enemy busy as well. Only one of the games remaining. Let's see if we can find that match quickly. Yes, EnSako's game supposedly still on. The other games all already finished. Yeah, there we go. Dimos versus EnSako. Let's freaking go. As Esoteric won against Dalsane, and Trenomaris won versus Captain John. And here we go, round 10 already. And oh my goodness, a lot of stuff going on. That crawler spawn, absolutely clutch here for EnSako. Keeping the overlords busy. Oh no, is that a... Oh, this overlord is also a spawned one. Oh. Yeah, were insanely clutch. Overlord still going down, but there still might be too much here. Steel ball. And Arclight's doing a good job. Arclight's insanely heavily upgraded. And if this round is still won by Dimos, or not lost by Dimos, without the 2 abilities, obviously next round should look quite nice to Dimos here. We're obviously just getting into this matchup, so I'm not quite sure what is going on here. But Dimos, with the Arclight, with armor here, not losing out to Fangs at all anymore. And that obviously is a massive problem. Couple of crawlers still alive, even triggering the missile up here. Unfortunate as well. As we see crawlers that immediately get recruited on level 5. And damn, that Arclight just carrying on its own. And yeah, seems like EnSako had 2 call-in abilities there. Yeah, EnSako with all the call-in abilities in the world. A lot of storm coming up here as well. As we see more overlords being spawned. And yeah, down south we have some crawlers, we have some steel bolts, level 7 crawlers by now. This is a true round 11. Both sides having an insane amount of abilities as well, but yeah, with... I guess there's also the reduced, skill specialist here, pretty key for EnSako. But this time around, only having a Rhino, not having crawlers, wasps, or battleships. And yeah, Rhino can be a bit obnoxious as well, but the Phoenix is just gonna one-shot that most likely. And that is a problem. On the other side, we see the intensive training instead, which still could be used. 350 bucks remaining. Interesting nuke Rhino lineup here. Nothing to deactivate the nuke Rhinos, actually. Dimos is just face tanking them. Interesting choice here. And then EnSako once more spamming the Fangs out like there is no tomorrow. But the armor on the high level, on the really high level Arclights here, super key against that. Because they just don't deal any damage. They reduce it by 60 per level. And yeah, even the level 3 Fangs here only have 240, so they just don't deal any damage whatsoever. Nuke Rhinos here, gonna explode in a second again though. Gonna take out the steel bolts. Gonna take out this Arclight as well. But the last Arclight remaining over here in the center, once more, just not gonna die. And that is a massive, massive problem. Fangs can kill everything else, but they need something behind themselves. And they don't have that. Like, it's insane. This Arclight is so close to death, but it's just not taking any damage. And it wins Dimos the round again. Another missile, a bit wasted here by EnSako. Wait, they somehow killed it? How did they kill it? Okay, here they actually deal damage now. Upgrade is gone. Third is falling. How did they kill the Arclight? Do they deal like one
massive
damage?
Sustained fire? Yeah, they still do a tiny amount of damage, and it was on such low HP.
No, I don't think they deal any. Like on paper, they shouldn't deal any. Or is there like?
I think I tested it a couple of. Unless they've changed it, but it used to be, but it definitely did damage.
Is it reduced like to 1 damage?
It's not quite 1, but it's still a very small.
No,
amount.
it is is either none or 1 against those guys. Like it must be like 1 damage per hit, or maybe even less. But yeah, against 39 hit point, 39,000 hit point Arclights, 1 damage per hit obviously is not a lot. Ah, was the Ignite there already last engagement? That would explain it. No, it was not there yet. And yeah, that will change the outcome here a bit. Ignite helping out big time, because that deals max hit point damage. It will still take a good while killing the Arclights, but the nuke Rhinos here are dangerous. Overlord's coming in now with the photon emission upgrade. And the steel bolts upgrade even further. But the 3 rhinos did a lot of damage here. No, it was the first one fell before the turret fell. And yeah, a lot of missiles here coming around. Interesting. Yes. This is most likely gonna be the last round here. And Overlord in the south. Trying to help the steel bolts, trying to help the crawlers. Yeah, crawlers with subterranean blitz. Not the extra damage, not impact drills. But, I mean, against level 3 Fangs, they still 1-hit them. Or 2-hit them with the shields. So it's not really necessary. And the rhinos are not the focal target here anyways. Nuke Rhino. Not quite killing the steel bolts. That is a big difference. That is a massive difference thanks to the extra addition. But these guys down here, going down to the ignite. And the turret will fall this time around. The ignite, big difference this time around as well. Allowing the Fangs to keep on going. And they will win. They won't finish the game most likely though. It's close. But Dimos still alive, so we will have a round 13.
I think this is the longest game I've seen. I was playing earlier when people weren't as aware of the meta, and it generally like round 8, 9 was pretty common. I don't think I've seen a round 13 before.
Yeah, the maximum I have seen was around 15, I believe. So we're getting pretty close there. But I believe this should be the last one around this time. And yeah, Fangs with a lot of ability here. And that's pretty hard to deal with. The only way I feel like to deal with is Stormcrawlers with burning the ground. Or anything else. Or like Vulcans. Everything else with max range as well, so you outrange the Fangs. Everything else just takes too long. Like Arclights are great against Fangs usually, but because they deal AoE, but the AoE is still a bit too small in these kind of matchups. Yeah, Vulcans here with incendiary bombs sound like the absolutely right choice to try to deal with this. As we have another nuke rhino here in the south this time.
As a self-proclaimed Vulcan fanboy, I approve of this.
Ooh, the crawler spawn in the rear
Vulcans.
might let the first couple of napalm missiles go the completely wrong way though. And that could be an issue. Could see one more steel wall upgrade here most likely. Or another arclight upgrade. Wait, Dimos just didn't spend the 100 points there. Nuke rhinos going down. As the crawlers keep the Vulcans busy. Nuke rhino in the south coming around. Vulcan trying their best, but they go down so quickly here because they don't have the range, and even the flames here. Oh my goodness, they just barely survive, but enough of them do survive. It got close for all of these Fangs, but they just barely survived. Nuke Rhino there coming around super clutch as well, and this is it. EnSako will win, and Dimos is down. So we have the last semi-finalist here with EnSako. Really clutch game.
Yeah,
Nice.
one of the rhinos managed to survive, just push through and destroy the tower, which just allowed the Fangs to really roll up that southern flank.
Here, Shade did win. And Esoteric won against Steel Sane. So we have Shade versus Esoteric. We have Maris versus EnSako. And yeah, let's go. Okay, we're gonna join Shade and Esoteric again. And yeah, guys, if you want to help out these guys, check out the match arena. You can use the claim code button to add 25 cents immediately to the prize pool, completely for free. And yeah, I know some of you can press that button, so please feel free to do so. I'm not very sure a good couple of you haven't done so yet. Would be lovely to see if you did, as we gonna go into the next round in a second. And yeah, Shade versus Esoteric, Trenomaris versus EnSako, games that will go up here in a second. And return to lobby here. And let's see. Where is the Shade versus Esoteric game? I guess I have to. Let's get an invite.